So, welcome back to the channel, and today we're going to look at 5 games that are great to play on the Steam Deck. I have really been enjoying this system, and I really want to talk about it more. I have had this thing now for about a little over a year and a half, and I haven't really talked about it on the channel, so today we are going to do just that, and we're going to talk about 5 games. 5 games that are amazing to play on the Steam Deck. Now, we all love a bit of the blue blur that is Sonic, but now fans have created a HD unofficial overhaul of the classic game, and my personal favorite, that is Sonic 2. Now, this is seriously just a beautiful overhaul of the classic second game out there. The music is there. The original levels are up there too, all the way up to Aquatic Ruin Zone 1. I might add that they're all looking glorious as ever, and this is just a fantastic way to play through the original Mega Drive game. Thing is that's kind of unfortunate though, is the bonus levels are missing. However, it's still great to be able to play through the classic fantastic game that is Sonic 2. And this is just perfect for the Steam Deck, being able just to play this on the go. It's a lot of fun. Team 2D HD have done a great job on this, and they've incrementally been upgrading the game since 2014. I'm hoping that one day we will have a full release on Steam, but until then, I can't wait to enjoy more. Now, it has to be noted, as you may have guessed, that you may actually need to tinker around with this for a little bit to get it up and running on the Steam Deck. But once you figure out how to do it all, it's all fun from there. Now, how could this be any sort of video about games that I love without mentioning the beast that is Final Fantasy VII? And Final Fantasy VII Remake works absolutely amazing on the Steam Deck. So for those of you that have may not heard me gush about this game before, Final Fantasy VII is a popular role-playing game that was released by Square Enix back in 1997. However, they were called Squaresoft back then. The game's story is based around a group of eco-terrorists known as Avalanche, who are fighting against the Shinra Power Electric Company, which is draining the planet's life force for all of its energy. The game's main protagonist is Cloud Strife, a former Shinra elite soldier unit member who joins forces with Avalanche. Cloud sets out to stop Shinra and its leader, President Shinra, from destroying the planet. They released a remake back in 2020, improving the visuals, the story, and movies from the original game. It follows the section of Midgar, which is just basically the first disc of the game, and the first part is the bit that most people actually remember. This game is a must if you're an RPG fan. So the remake actually gets a lot of hate for not being a carbon copy of the original game, and the hate is definitely unjustified. This game is absolutely fantastic and runs great on the Steam Deck. This is one of those games in the series where I keep going back and playing it over and over and over again, and it is an absolute pleasure to be able to play it on the Steam Deck, especially on the go. This brand new Sega Mega Drive game from Neofed Studios is straight from the early 90s. It takes inspiration from retro titles such as Ghouls and Ghosts and Castlevania. Similar to other action-adventure titles, you play as Gareth, a powerful warrior destined to save Asterberg from the demons. Hence the name. Throughout the game, you encounter different worlds with enemies such as zombies, bats, all sorts of weird mythical creatures. The buyback limb will help you gain new abilities and weapons. Each level showcases a different magical ability that also helps develop your character. Each stage is built around a new ability. So for example, if there's a drawbridge and you can't pull it down and you need to find an ability to be able to do that, you lose these abilities as you start new stages, which helps you not rely on using the same ability and creating a fresh experience on every level. In RPG fashion, you collect coins throughout the levels, which can be spent in in-game shops to level up your health or even just stock up in between worlds. The music has to be noted that the original soundtrack holds up to some of the classics out there. It has the signature Sega sound that is just out of this world. I really have to get my hands on this soundtrack. It is absolutely amazing. I absolutely adore this era of gaming, so there is no shock that I enjoyed the heck out of this game. If you've played any game from this era, there is absolutely no doubt in my mind that you'll absolutely love it too, so make sure to check this out. Now, this is one of those really simple type of pick up and play games. Old Towers definitely doesn't break the mold in any way, shape or form, but it is a ton of fun. Created by Retro Souls and released by Mega Cat Studios, Old Towers makes you dash your way through over 40 levels to work out the puzzles that you really need to get thinking about to be able to get to the end of the level. You need to dodge arrows, spikes, and crashing blocks to get from one end to the other to obtain all the coins and progress to the end. It sounds simple enough, right? But the wrinkle in the plan is the fact that you can't move freely. Instead, pushing a direction causes your character to zoom across the screen in the direction you pressed until they bump into something, like a wall. As you might expect, this means you need to put a little bit of planning into how you move, and if you want to be able to reach all the coins and exit without dying, you need to really think about what you're doing. This game really does give you some challenge in the later levels as well. You need split-second timing and the confidence to pull off multiple moves in rapid succession, and this game has the ability to make you rage hard. However, it is safe to say it never feels unfair. The movement of the hazards and the correct route through the stages are always paced in such a way that you have plenty of time to plan out what you need to do and get yourself into the right headspace to make it happen. Planning is key to playing through the levels and often determine where the safest spot to stop actually is. The pixel art and the animation is absolutely amazing. The background music, although limited into just 2 in-game tracks, is super catchy and can get stuck in your head for days. This really is one of those games that's really easy to pick up and play, just for a few minutes at a time, and definitely worth checking out. Oh boy. So next up on the list is one of my favorite PS1 games remade from the ground up, and that game is new and tasty. It's a remake of the Oddworld Abe's Odyssey series. In this game, you play as Abe, a hapless, clumsy Madukan who doesn't want to be a savior. However, one day he stumbles upon a ghastly plan to convert him and other co-workers into delicious, meaty snacks, and he knows he must escape. Abe has to save all the Madukan slaves at Rapture Farms from being murdered and turned into Madukan Pops. In this game, Abe has no actual direct way of attacking or defending himself and can be killed really easily. He must rely on his wits and his resourcefulness to overcome the enemies and dangerous obstacles. He has the ability to chant and will open portals, and he can also use his telepathy to possess Sligs, who are basically Rapture Farm security guards. Sligs lack Abe's ability to outrun him, however they carry firearms and can operate switches, which can put a stop to Abe being able to get past them or defeat them. Other enemies cannot be possessed and must be dealt with by solving many puzzles in the game, which often involves setting up elaborate traps. Some of the enemies in the game must be outrun. In some levels, Abe has a mount called Elam that helps in this. Are you seeing the pattern here? There are some areas in the game which require the player to memorize Abe's whistles, farts, which have always been hilarious in this game, and you're also required to remember a bunch of verbal commands from the Sligs to unlock the electric fences which disable the security devices, allowing Madukans to pull levers and platforms. Oh yeah, did I mention you could fart in this game? Either way, this is a fantastic game to play on the Steam Deck, full of puzzles and gameplay that is sure to keep you engaged for hours. I love the Oddworld series, and I recommend that you play this one. There are also other Oddworld games that you can check out on the Steam Deck too, including the latest release Soulstorm, which also plays great on the Steam Deck. So these are 5 games that I highly recommend you check out on the Steam Deck. I have been loving this system since I got it, and I will say, if you enjoyed this video, chuck us a like, chuck us a subscribe if you really enjoyed it, and let us know, what games are you playing on the Steam Deck at the moment? I know this is probably going to be the first of many videos that I want to put out on the Steam Deck, as there are absolutely a bunch of games that you can play on this. And like I say, if you want to see more content on the Steam Deck, then stick around, let us know down in the comments. Anyways guys, I want to thank you all for watching this video, and I'll catch you next time.